Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new. My name is Sam, and in today's video I have a very exciting reading vlog this week. There have been so many new and exciting book releases that have come out over the month of April and even the months previous. Just 2025 has been such a great year for releases, and in this video I wanted to read some of them. Some that I have been very excited about, some that I'm curious about, and so that is what we are going to be doing. I have 3 books that I'm going to be reading in this reading vlog. These are also books that are 5-star or close to 5-star prediction, so I'm really hoping that we have a great reading vlog of reading all of these books. And also I'm really hoping that I get a 5-star because it's currently April 17th and I haven't had a single 5-star read all year. I think I checked and the last 5-star read was Metal Slinger, which looking back might have been more of like a 4.5. So even before that, the last 5-star book I had was Into the Dark by Jessa Hastings. So fingers crossed we have a 5-star here. The books that I'm going to be reading in this reading vlog are Deep End by Ali Hazelwood. This is actually the first book that I'm going to be starting with. I did start just the very beginning of this book yesterday, only 20 pages in, but I've definitely heard some mixed reviews about this, but I did have a conversation with somebody who has been feeling the same way that I have about Ali Hazelwood's recent releases. They've been okay, but nothing special. And she really loved this book, so I'm really hoping that I'm also going to really love this book. I feel like it could touch on some deeper and important topics in the 20 pages that I have read. That's seemingly sort of the tone of this book, so very intrigued to read this one and get more of the like student athlete side, because I feel like a lot of the sports romances that I've read don't talk about student athletes in the way that this book has already, so very intrigued already. Then after, I will be reading The Conditions of Will by Jessa Hastings. I'm so excited to read this book. I have been waiting for this book to come out for the longest time, and I just adore Jessa's writing. I cannot wait to be back reading her writing, back in her worlds, and yeah, I can't wait. I really don't know much about this. I've been trying to avoid any information or anything about it because I just really want to go in blind and just enjoy my experience for whatever it will be. And also, as always, Emmy did a fantastic job on the cover art. It's just so beautiful. I will say, I'm not sure if this is an unpopular opinion, but I hate deckled edge. I like a smooth surface. Anyway. And then the last book that I'm going to be reading in this reading vlog is Fearless by Lauren Roberts. This is the last book in the Powerless trilogy. She's thick. Like, I did not expect it to be that thick, but these books are pretty quick for me to read, and I personally really enjoyed Reckless, so I'm intrigued to see what is going to happen in this last book. Again, I have been trying to avoid anyone's opinions and reactions to it, so hopefully I can just have my own experience. But I am very excited to get to all of these books and just really hoping that this is going to be just a really fun reading vlog. Good morning, everybody. So I fully expected to do a check-in like in the middle of Deep End, but I could just not stop reading. And also this past weekend was Easter, so I was a little bit busy. So I just did not have a chance also to do an update. But I've finished Deep End. And I think I mentioned in the intro that Ali Hazelwood's recent releases haven't really been hitting for me the same way as some of her first releases were. So I was a little bit skeptical on whether I was going to enjoy this one or not, especially because I have also been hearing some very mixed reviews. And although the beginning of this book was a little bit slow for me to get into, it took a bit for me to really connect to the characters. I ended up absolutely loving this book. In this one, we're following Scarlett, who is a D1 college athlete, and she does diving. And we learn that a year ago, she got an injury at one of her meets, and she wasn't able to do this one specific dive anymore. and she's trying to work through this, and we see her going through just school in general. And I feel like just a lot of what happens in this book is extremely realistic to the college experience and sort of the kind of things that you're feeling at that time and things that you're going through in this period of your life, trying to find out who you are on your own, as well as under all of this pressure with applications for further schooling, and in Scarlett's case, her sport from her teammates and everything. And it also really showcases what it's like to be when you're with the right person. There was just a lot of this book that really hit close to home for me. Felt a little bit like Allie was cracking open my brain and taking a peek inside. This definitely wasn't perfect book by any means, but yeah, it just hit the feels a lot more than I thought it was going to. And I was definitely hemming and hawing over what my final rating was going to be. And because I didn't have, I guess, that gut instinctual feeling, I settled on a 4.5 star, but like very close to a 5 star. Yeah, really love this one. Anytime that I put it down, I wanted to continue reading. I wanted to know what was going to happen. I loved our main characters together. It was just a healthy relationship. I just had a great time. Also, for me personally, this is definitely Allie's spicier books, but in terms of the type of spice it is, it's definitely not the kinkiest or spiciest book that I have personally read, but there's definitely a lot more spicy chapters in this book than there is in her other books. So, if that is something that you watch out for or stay away from, keep that in mind. But I love this. So, and I'm so happy that I love this. The next book that I'm going to be reading for this vlog is The Conditions of Will by Jessa Hastings. I'm so excited to be getting another Jessa Hastings book, being back in her writing again. I absolutely love her writing. And there is some information about this book that I have heard, but I've been trying very hard to stay away from like specific synopses or any piece of information like about the book itself. I just really want to go in blind. But we are following Georgia, who we meet briefly in Magnolia Parks. She's a very, very minor character, but this takes place after the Daisy Hates books that haven't even been written yet. Georgia is living in the UK, but she has to go back to her hometown in South Carolina, I believe, and see all her family, which she has a very seemingly toxic family. But Georgia is studying to be, I don't know what it's called, but she can tell when people are lying based on people's body language. And so that's very interesting to see, like the tiny little movements that you do subconsciously that give off if you're lying or just what you're feeling overall. So I did actually start this book just a tiniest bit yesterday. I just read the first 4 chapters. Actually, I'm going to be doing a bit of a like hybrid read for this one between physical and my Kindle, because this is on Kindle Unlimited, at least in Canada. And normally I don't like to read books that I own physically any other method than the physical book, but these books are huge and I will have to go to the office while I'm still in the middle of reading this one, and just reading on my Kindle at the office is way easier than having to bring a big book. And also, it's just so beautiful. I don't want anything to happen to it. When I'm home, I'm going to be reading the physical, and then anytime I'm anywhere else, I'll probably be reading my Kindle just for ease. But I'm very excited to continue reading this. Just classic Jessa writing, just lyrical, beautiful, and very much the human experience. So can't wait. Very excited. Having a great time. Hi everybody, so I wanted to do a check-in for The Conditions of Will by Jessa Hastings. I'm like just over halfway through this book so far. I'm so enjoying this. Jessa's writing is like nothing else. Her writing is so beautiful and lyrical, but also feels just like a stream of consciousness, which makes it just hurt that much more. I'm not really sure if I gave a synopsis of this book yet, but in this book, we're following Georgia, who had a very difficult childhood, and something especially traumatic happened to her, and her family sent her to live in the UK, and she has to come back home to her family home in South Carolina because her father passes away, and so she has to be there for all of everything that happens surrounding that, the funeral and everything. And so we just get to see her and her siblings interact after everything that happened when she was younger, as well as while they're dealing with their grief and everything. And Georgia is also studying, I can't remember what exactly it is that she is doing, but she's like psychology, behavioral analyst kind of thing, where she can look at a person and tell how they're feeling in terms of like their emotions, if they're lying. And it's very interesting, but definitely there's parts of that I don't study that, so I have no idea what the definitions are, I guess. Like she'll mention different facial muscle movements, I guess. And I don't know what those are. But at the same time, I find it so fascinating, and it makes me want to learn about it more because it's just so interesting. Georgia is also very like emotionally stable. She's been through a lot of therapy and has dealt with her emotions of any of the difficult things that she has gone through. And it's just such an interesting POV to get her, I guess, emotional intelligence. And I'm just so enjoying it. And it's kind of one of those books that have been like a slow burn high rating for me. I fell in love with the characters very quickly, but I feel like it took me a bit to like really feel in this book, and stuff is going down now. I have to go finish getting ready to go to the office, and the can of worms have imploded, and I just need to know what is coming. This book is just so painful and swoony, and I don't know what to say about this. I just love Jessa's writing, and it's just like coming home. This does also talk about very heavy themes, so definitely check trigger warnings if you are sensitive to anything. Yeah, because it does go into very specific detail in some situations. Keep that in mind. It talks about very like big and important things in a very like impactful way. And yeah, there's just a lot of like little pieces in this book that I can really relate to and appreciate. And yeah, it's Jessa. So I love it. So I ended up finishing The Conditions of Will by Jessa Hastings, and I ended up writing this a 5 star. I'm just obsessed with Jessa's writing, and this book just gave me like a slow, dull ache the entire time. I was close to tears. And I feel like just the things that happened in this book and the way that it was put together, I can't rate this anything other than 5 stars. And thinking about this book and flipping through this book makes me just want to read it all over again. The romance and relationship in this book really was to be seen is to be loved. The romance in this was everything. I don't have much else to say other than that and kind of what I said at my last check-in. I do feel like the kind of reveal was a bit expected. Like I definitely guessed part of it as we were getting closer and closer to the actual reveal. And yeah, just all of the little crumbs that we got leading up to this was just incredible. I absolutely love this, and I'm so glad to have been able to read another Jessica Hastings book. Definitely top 3 authors for me. Love her. Love her books. Love her writing. Just fantastic. So that means that we are on to the last book in this reading vlog, and that is Fearless by Lauren Roberts. I took off the dust jacket because I started reading this yesterday, and I'm just 80 pages in. I really wanted to have read more by now because this book is so long, but I'm finding it kind of difficult to get into, and I don't know if that's just kind of the mental state that I've been in the last couple days or if it's the book or what, but I'm kind of struggling to get into this one, and I'm not sure what to necessarily say without giving anything away, but based on the events at the end of Reckless, some of the things that are happening in this book already are questionable and a big absolutely not for me. So we'll see how this continues because I'm not loving the things that our characters are doing right now. And I'm just kind of waiting for something to happen. There's still a lot to go, but it's feeling a bit slow. So that's it for now. I'm going to try to read a good chunk of this now. Hopefully get closer to halfway through this today. Hi everybody. So I wanted to do a check-in for Fearless because I've been really trying to get through this very quickly. I'm on page 436. I have a bit more than 150 pages left, and I was really excited to pick this book up and read it. I did really enjoy the first 2 books in this series. I like the characters, I like the banter, I thought it was a lot of fun. This one I am really struggling with. It took me a long time to get into, and even now that I'm this far into it, I'm still not enjoying it at all. There is a piece to this book related to the relationships that is a big no for me, like no question about it. I don't stand for it, and that is really hindering a lot of my enjoyment, and I feel like it could have been done, like a minor change could have been done and it could have been way better. It's also feeling very repetitive, and I feel like there's nothing really happening plot-wise. Like the plot is still kind of between the characters. There's not much. It just seems strange. Like it doesn't seem intentional. It seems like it was kind of done this way just to drag out another book. I don't really know, but I'm really struggling with it. There's not a lot of substance to this book, I'm finding. We are getting some information and some backstory into the characters and kind of the world, but not as much as I kind of expected. Like we got these pieces of information and then nothing else happened with them. There's another plot line in this that kind of just was resolved, but was just kind of ended just to end. Like there was didn't feel like there was any real purpose for it. I don't know. I'm really struggling with this book, and I don't think that the ending is really going to pick it up for me. So unfortunately, this is sitting at like a 2-star right now. It was sitting more at like a 3-star. Like it was fine, but nothing great. And the more I read, the more just irritated I am, which is really unfortunate because I was very much looking forward to this book, but it's just, in my opinion, it just has not been done well. So I'm going to go and try to finish off the rest of this, and I will check in with you once I'm done and we can do a final wrap up. Good morning, everybody. So I ended up finishing Fearless last night, and unfortunately, I don't have much else to say about this book. I know I mentioned this in my last check-in, but I was really excited to pick this book up and finish out this series, but this book just felt like it belonged to an entirely different series. Like the characters felt different, the banter didn't feel the same, and that's likely something that I just picked up on because of the relationship dynamics that our our characters were part of. But this was, yeah, just really infuriating for me personally. I cannot get behind rooting for these characters when they were in the situation that they were in. The ending also just came out of left field, really didn't make any sense to me at all. Like, why did it have to end like that? It felt almost convenient. Yeah, and this was also entirely way too long. Way too long for what happened in this book, which in terms of plot, nothing really happened. It felt like there wasn't really a background plot or anything that our characters were really working towards. It was very like character driven. I don't know. This just did not hit for me, unfortunately. And there was also a lot of plot holes as well. Like there were some things that as it was happening, I was like, and no one's gonna point out this or this. I'm not realizing these things. I'm glad that I read it. I'm glad that the series is finished. Although there is, I think, supposed to be another novella, which I probably will read. Yeah, I don't know. I had really high expectations. I did really enjoy Powerless. I did really enjoy Reckless. And this just did not feel like it was the same. So, unfortunately, this was a 2.5 star. But that is the end of this reading vlog. Unfortunately, we ended off on not the best note, but Deep End was so much fun. I absolutely love that book. It's like really got me in the feels. And then same with The Conditions of Will. Absolutely love that book. As I've been working on editing this video and hearing me talk about the book again, I just want to pick it back up and reread it. Jess's writing is everything to me, and I love the way that she writes her characters and how real they are. And then obviously lastly we read Fearless, finished off a series, or caught up for now. So overall, I feel like this was a very successful reading vlog, and overall I had a great time. So if you have read any of these books, please let me know down below. I would love to chat with you. If you did enjoy this video, please give it a like so that I know. I hope that you have a great rest of your week, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.